Today we're going to talk about our dentistry in the Dominican Republic. We were lucky to go in September and have a wonderful time. This is our entire team. We have the U of A students, we have students from Oregon, we have Dominican Republic dental students, we have Bright Island Outreach as an organization, and 123 Dentists as well. So we had a wonderful time. So today I'm going to just do some introductions for our team, and I'm going to talk about our elective course briefly. And then I'll turn it over to Natalia and Doug to talk about the Dominican Republic as a country and Bright Island Outreach. And hopefully Octavio will be here with us and he can talk about the partnership between 123 Dentists and Bright Island Outreach. And then we have our students here. Thank you, students, for joining us. I know you have a really busy day, so thank you for coming to talk to us today about your challenges and the rewards of this program as well. And finally, I want to talk a little bit about our local program. It's called Access for All Dentistry, and we go out to rural Alberta with mobile dentistry. So I wanted to talk about how our trip to the Dominican Republic has really enhanced us and helped us to learn and grow with our Access for All program. So first of all, I want to play this little video for you. This is a gift from Bright Island Outreach and 123 Dentists to the U of A students. I'm just sort of summarizing the trip, so I hope it really inspires you and gets you excited about our presentation today.
My name is Octavio Gill, Clinical Director for 123 Dentists. A couple of years ago, I came to a dental mission trip to Dominican Republic with my wife, Dr. Zara Ganji, and the Bright Island team and Revive team. What we saw was a community that needed more help, more assistance in dental care. And I started thinking, how can we provide this for the people while at the same time make an impact to the future of dentistry? So partnering up with, the future goal is to partner up with the UBC, U of T, U of A, USask, McGill, Dalhousie, and all the dental, Western University, and all the dental universities in Canada to bring students down here and learn and improve on their skills in dentistry. So that's our future. But currently what we're doing here, we're seeing, this is our third one, so we're seeing up to 500 people and providing dental work for all of these wonderful people here in the village of Guayacoa.
A smile can change someone's life
forever.
Hi, I'm Susie DePledge from the University of Alberta, Comprehensive Care Director and the Elective Course Director.
And I'm Dr. Jill Bowman, a CC Lead from University of Alberta.
We just had a very inspiring time here at Bright Island Outreach. It was an amazing time. I hope all our students can experience this, and it'll make them grow professionally in their career.
It's been an incredible cultural experience. It's been a great dental experience, and it's something they'll take away with them for the rest of their lives.
We hope to be back soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
We look forward to continuing to serve the community here and having your support, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, here we are. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to do some quick introductions of the people that were involved in this program. First off, we have our U of A dental students here with us today, and we have a picture of some of our other Canadian team members here. So I think we have Bella, Simran, Max, Kareem, and Sarvanis, and I'm not sure if Nathan has had a chance to join us yet. Dr. Jill Bowman was there as well as a preceptor. She's a faculty member as well, so she was very helpful on this program. We had some wonderful assistants from Edmonton. Our dental assistants Sherry and Denise were essential for this trip. They were so helpful for us. And we also had some members from U of T. We had Marianne, who's a dental assistant, and Brenda and Rita as well. We had the pleasure of working with the DR students, the Dominican Republic students from Universidad, I'm going to butcher this, Universidad Central de Esta, and they were amazing. They helped us in assisting the patients. They helped us with sterilization. They helped us with translation. They were amazing to have there, and we actually got to see the university itself, which was wonderful. We got to see them in their working environment and see their clinic and talk to their instructors and see the differences between U of A and the Dominican Republic University. We also had the pleasure of working with the students from Oregon, the Oregon Health Sciences University. We had Dr. Lindy, Dr. Michelle, Dr. Mike helping us out. They had brought 20 students down for us, which was amazing. So we got to learn alongside them as well. I wanted to point out Jonathan, the oral surgeon from the Dominican Republic, who was so wonderful with us. He's wearing his Canadian scrub hat, so we've officially adopted him into the Canadian team as well, but he was great to work with. We have some members of Bright Island Outreach team here today. They were amazing. They brought their whole team every day with us, and they helped us along the way with translation with patients. So we have Natalia and we have Doug here to explain a little bit more about Bright Island Outreach and also the Dominican Republic coming up soon. And Octavio has joined us. Thank you, Octavio, for joining us. He is from 123 Dentist, and he has built a strong partnership and friendship with Bright Island Outreach. One of his good friends, Jonathan Diaz, was one of the founders of Bright Island Outreach. And unfortunately, he can't be here today. He's going to Florida with his family to have their second child. So he won't be here, but we wish him all the best. But Octavio will be here to talk a little bit more about 123 Dentist and Bright Island Outreach. So just a little bit about how we ended up in the Dominican Republic. The students have an opportunity in their fourth year to do 2 electives. So they have 1 week in the fall, 1 week in the winter time. So it's 52 students, 104 electives, and I'm the director of that course, which has been an absolute joy to run this course. And we are lucky enough to take 6 of our students this year to the Dominican Republic. So that's an opportunity for students to choose knowledge and skill development that align with their interests and career goals. And hopefully we'll be able to take more students along the way next year as well. So I'm going to hand this over to Natalia and Doug to talk about the Dominican Republic and a little bit more about Bright Island Outreach.
Hi everyone, thank you for having us. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about Dominican Republic. So for those who don't know, it's located in the Caribbean. It's 2/3 of the island of Hispaniola. It's shared with Haiti on the west side. It's actually very close to Florida, Mexico, Cuba, and South America. It's actually just a short 1.5 hour flight from Miami. And it's a small hidden paradise. It has mountains, it has beaches, it has everything that you might not know, but it has everything. It really does. It's a beautiful country. It's a warm culture. The food is great. The beaches are absolutely stunning. Anywhere you go, there's an adventure waiting for you. The people are always welcoming. So it's a really great country to visit, and it's a beautiful place. So some facts. So the currency is the Dominican peso. So $1 currently is at 60 pesos. The population of the country is 11 million people. Okay, it is a Spanish-speaking country, but a lot of people actually do know English. So as you saw with the university, UCE, a lot of the students do speak English, so it's translating is a little bit easy. And the culture, it comes from a Spanish background, African background, and Taino, which is indigenous heritage. And some of the traditions, as you can see in the slide, bachata, merengue is the way of the dance. It's very common. Anywhere you go, there'll be that type of music. You'll see people dancing. It's a very happy culture. People are usually in a good mood when they're here. It's a predominantly Catholic country, and baseball is actually the sport mostly that's most played here. The food. So La Bandera Dominicana, as you can see over there, has a bunch of rice, beans, very Caribbean style food, and mango, which is actually plantains. It's like a smashed plantains, and it's very common as well for part of the food here, as you can see. Next slide. And then I'm going to hand it over to Doug, who is one of our founders of the Bright Island, and he can tell you a little bit more.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much for your time and an opportunity to talk about the thing that I'm most passionate about, and probably most of us are, and that's why we find each other. And that's really the history, the essence of the history of Bright Island Outreach is relationships and collaboration. And that's how we started, is my best friend, Dr. Eric Harris, met Dr. Diaz, Jonathan, who's now our best friend for 13 years that we've been doing this. They met on a humanitarian trip 13 years ago and formed a special bond and collaborated. They were both clinical directors of their dental schools. At the time, Eric, Dr. Harris here in Arizona, and Jonathan at UCE, that Dr. Susie mentioned prior in the Dominican. And so they collaborated their students. And at the time, I was a non-traditional dental school applicant and aspirant. And so a bunch of us formed a group. And in fact, Dr. Michelle was on our inaugural trip back in 2013, who was on this trip that we're talking about now. And that's kind of the whole network that we inevitably organically build over time doing this. And in a minute, I'll talk about Octavio and 123 Dental and how we started working with the Canadians. And we're so grateful for all these relationships. But anyway, back in 2013, we came on a mission trip that was hosted by a charity operating out of the Dominican Republic. And then we decided to start our own. And so we have a long track record, as you can see on the slide, of visiting all the regions on the island. And over time, we've grown in capability and in advanced our technology and widened our scope of disciplines and procedures that we offer. And we're really proud of now being one of the more well-equipped mobile dentistry free dental clinic charities that there are. And so now some of these organizations that we started with rent equipment from us and use us for logistical help and stuff like that. And so as part of our mission, we want to make what we do replicable. And so we want to inspire others to do it, to a higher standard than we do it. But that's kind of our history, is collaborations and relationships and partnerships. And as you see, we've had 2,000 giving, loving, service-oriented volunteers, healthcare professionals over time, and our network and capacity has grown. And so therefore, our impact on the communities that we serve, that we continue to serve, because one of our big things is continuing care. We've been able to provide a lot of free dental care for poor people. And so we're just really grateful. And as you can see, I have my U of A baseball hat on, because we are really proud of our friends and connections, and Dr. Susie and Octavio, who I'll talk about now. And so as part of our program, we do an implant course in the spring, and Octavio's wife is a dentist, and he came, I think was when he met Jonathan, was on this implant course. And then those guys worked together to curate a trip for Octavio and some of his friends and family in their healthcare dental practice. And then had the idea, because we were founded on collaborating students and collaborating with universities, to include the Canadian universities and Octavio's 123 Dental organization. And like I said, just grow in force and momentum and inertia and all the good things. And yeah, I don't know what more I can say. I really want to get to the Q&A so I can answer your questions, but it really is a beautiful thing, an incredible country with really energetic, happy people that sometimes, well, for the most part, don't have the access to the healthcare resources that we do. And so we have to go to them to improve their lives and situations. And at the same time, it benefits us, spiritually, professionally, collaboratively, in building relationships, all sorts of ways. So it's just empowering for everybody all the way around. So um, is there a next slide? I don't know. For me. Yeah, I think
Um,
I did that slide.
I think this is more for Octavio to step
Yeah.
in. But thank you, Doug. You did an
But
amazing
that's
job.
my yeah, but that's my segue to Octavio is, now we have a special friend with, great energy and passion and network of other amazing, impactful souls. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Doug. Sorry, that was a little feedback there. I really appreciate you guys inviting Bio and myself and 123 up on this call. One of the biggest things is to constantly improve and constantly makes things better. But that's why us as 123, our mission, our vision is to become become the dental corporation that everyone wants to be part of, right? So we want to be able to bring all people from all sorts of life in the dental profession and bring them on board, because these are some of the things that we do. Um, Not only do we try to earn a smile from every patient, every doctor, and every team member that we have, but every other organization that we work with. And I hope that we, as 123, were able to earn a smile from the U of A because of this trip. So years ago, yes, like Doug said, by the way, Doug is also my friend, Susie. So Doug, Jonathan, and I, and Tim, and Eric, we all met, and we just said, let's bring this to Canada, let's bring the universities down here, and when we do bring the universities down here, let's bring our dentists here, our 123 dentists along as well, so they can help mentor all these university students when they come down to these mission trips. So that's our real goal here for 123 Dentists, to make sure that we bring our dentists as well to help mentor the students. And that's number one thing, right? And you guys have saw it with Dr. Palmero, aka Jonathan, aka the Big Guns Man, aka the guys that you're going to send a work permit for. So as you can see, having a doctor there on hand who's very experienced really goes a long way, because they can guide you in the procedures that you're doing. They can also help you when you're stuck, and then they can give you the feedback afterwards so you can be a lot better and understand what it is that you were doing. Now, doing these types of events is a lot of coordination. It is a lot of logistical work that we have to do. And that's why working together in the background, it makes it seem very seamless. So I want to thank Dr. Susan DePledge and Dr. Jill Bowman for really leading on this trip here for you guys, the students, because without them, one, you wouldn't be there, and two, you wouldn't have that guidance that they provided to you while you were there. So thank you, Dr. DePledge, and thank you, Dr. Bowman, for being there for us. I will add one little note to Natalia's portion is that the Dominican flag, the flag, not the food, but the flag itself is the only flag in the world that has the Bible in it. So yes, the Dominicans are very Catholic, and in so they have the Bible in their flag. So just a little FYI tidbit there. So how we impacted the people this week. We saw 256 patients over 3 days. Over 3 days. Wow, that is a lot of patients that you guys saw. And you guys should be very proud of that. 256 patients in 3 days. Normal GP practices don't even see that in roughly about maybe a week or so. But 256, you did 64 prophies, you did 124 fillings, 280 extractions, 20 root canals, and 150 dentures was done by our technical team. That's a lot of work that you guys did in that 3-day time frame. And obviously everybody was there. Like some of our guests here. We were there from 8:30 in the morning to as late as 6:45 at night. nobody left till the last patient got seen. So thank you very much for all you guys for your hard work and dedication during this time. I know we sweated a lot. It was super hot, but I hope those new figs really go a long way. Now, what are we going to do next year? We want to be able to provide this again for you next year, you meaning your third years. If second years wants to come just to get that experience, I don't know if they have reading week that week, but by all means, they're all welcomed. But we want to get at least 15 more of the students to come next year and really work together so we can collaborate with the USE, and their students there, and of course all of the other multidisciplinary practitioners that were there, like Dr. Jasmani, Dr. Palmero, Dr. Aura, right? All these wonderful folks there that helped us out this whole week and made us learn and understand how, wow, these things do work and this techniques really work and this is how it's going to be done in the office. But what we also need from you guys is whatever supplies you can bring out, whatever help you can give so we can make sure that we have all the equipment necessary for all the students when you're out there. Yes, I understand that drill bits and drills are a little bit difficult to find, but working together, we can make it happen. And then we can have the next group have a better time and better, more efficient in doing the extractions. And as Max knows, and maybe Kareem too, when you're cutting these eights, and you have these drills that aren't really cutting so well, you need the equipment. So please, whatever you can do in this part will be very important and very successful for the next group. Jill, is Dr. Bullman here?
I don't. She can make it today, but I'm going to move along to the student impact. We've got our students here and they have some patients coming into clinic pretty soon. So, there's Dr. Bowman there. She's there. Hi, Dr. Bowman. Octavia, did I have something to say to Dr. Bowman or?
Well, for the sake of time, we can keep moving. But, thank you again, Dr. Bowman, for all your help and your guidance to the students. I know they really appreciate it, and we appreciate it as well as an organization.
We appreciated everything you did for us because you kept us on track. You looked after us, made sure we were safe the entire time. And your organization, without your organizing skills, it wouldn't have gone as smoothly as it did. So we appreciate everything you did, Octavio. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. I'm going to start with Simran. I know she's got a patient coming up pretty quick, so. Simran, would you be able to comment on your experience in the Dominican Republic? What was your highlight? What was your challenge? How this experience makes you a better healthcare professional?
Yeah, well, looking at the presentation and seeing the scene again, definitely one of the challenges was how the patients were seated. So we had kind of these holding chairs, and a lot of the time I was down on my knees working and trying to see what I was doing. That was definitely new and that was really challenging. Because I feel like some of what we do is challenging enough, and then you're trying to do it on your knees and looking upside down. So that was definitely one of them. In terms of the highlights, I would say definitely getting to explore the Dominican Republic, especially because we had so many people who were so familiar with the country with us. I think we got to see it in such a different way as opposed to if you go by yourself or you don't have that type of guidance. So for sure, one of my highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of my highlights was the trip to Saona, beautiful island. I would have stayed there and just sold necklaces on the beaches, I think, for the rest of my life if I could, but here I am back here. So next is Sarvenes. Can you tell us a little bit about your highlights of the trip?
Sure. I would say one moment which I found particularly memorable for me was treating a gentleman with very large cavities on his front teeth, and once we fixed them, he was super happy and he couldn't stop smiling. That was really fulfilling and rewarding for me. And regarding the challenges, one of them would be to communicate with patients. Of course, there were students who were helping us, translating for us, but in the middle of the appointment, you want to discuss more with your patient and connect with them in a deeper level, and that was not possible. So that was one of the challenges for me.
Great. And getting some of your rum home, I think, was a challenge for you as well.
Yeah.
Good thing Octavio came to the rescue on that one. Max, I think you're up next. I know that you have a patient coming up. So how did this experience make you a better healthcare professional?
Oh, wow. I get a different
The
question.
tough question.
No, so definitely it's a very rewarding experience. Just like my colleague said, lots of challenges, particularly with just the things we're used to having in Canada simply not available. Rewarding wise, how can help me become a better clinician. Definitely a lot of oral surgery experience. Lots learning how to extract a lot of complicated teeth. Individuals, patient with very dense bone, with very strong teeth. So you really improve your skills as a general dentist. Another great thing about it is this trip was one of the only few times you ever get to do dentistry outside of Canada and the US. I've done a little bit in China before, but it's still a very rare experience and overall very enriching experience to have under your belts as a U of A dental student.
That's awesome. Thank you. And you pointed out the really tough bone, which I think Octavio warned us about before we got there. And I don't know if any of us really knew what we were going to get into. So this is actually one of the oral surgery instruments that one of our students bent, which is almost impossible to do, but the bone is actually that hard that there was bending of instruments going on. So again, we are really, really happy to have Jonathan there, the oral surgeon. He did an amazing job to guide our students, and I think they got experiences that they never would have gotten in Canada for sure. So, Karine, can you add on to that about your experience?
No, I very much agree with like my classmates in terms of just your experiences. I think one of the biggest thing that I benefited or anyone who would go would benefit from is just being quick on your feet. I think that is a lot of dentistry where sometimes you get faced with a problem and you're not too sure how to approach it. So it's nice because a lot of the tools you don't have, a lot of the instruments are not the common ones you use. So it just teaches you to be quick on your feet and to kind of just find a solution to the problem. So I think that's a very good asset to have, especially when you're a student and you're still like learning. In terms of highlights, honestly, the Dominican people, they're great, they're joyful, they're just living stress-free, which is nice. I understand life is very stressful at times, but everyone there was very welcoming. Even though they were waiting for hours to see us, they were very thankful when they did. And they showed us around the country. The sugar canes, I would say, also was a good time. Getting to bite into that and kind of understanding why a lot of those teeth might need extractions. But yeah, overall, I think that was my experience. No, it was lovely. I would definitely do it again for sure.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Can I mention something about that, Dr. DePledge?
Absolutely. Please jump in.
And I'm glad you mentioned that one, Kareem, because I think one of the great things that bio does amazing is the triage portion of our patients. Our patients aren't waiting in the blistering heat, right? They have their shaded areas, and then our patients know what times their appointments are and when they have to be there. So you guys can do the surgeries that you need to do. And then we have it set up in such a way where all the hard stuff is in the morning, typically, and then the easy stuff comes into the afternoon. So I think Bright Island hat tipped off for that part.
Yeah, way to go, Bright Island, for having us for one thing and herding us along, and all the work that you do behind the scenes before we even arrive to make our 3 days go so smoothly. So we absolutely appreciate you so much. Dr. Bowman, my partner in crime down there, herding the students. So can you give us a couple comments on your trip and what was the highlight for you? What was the challenge for you?
Just dealing with that, that took a while to get used to. That first day was definitely the toughest for me, and then after that, I think I acclimatized pretty quickly. I think it was wonderful to see the students working together, collaborating with other students from the other universities. It was an amazing experience for them, and all of our students blossomed. The experience they got down there, they walked very confidently back into oral surgery when they came back to the U of A, and it definitely showed.
Yeah, we even were able to take a picture for each student holding up their tooth, and we sent it to our oral surgeon, Dr. Tracky, that works with us, and she was so pleased. She was so proud of them. So it was really great to see. We also had amazing cultural experiences. We were welcomed into people's homes for lovely dinners. We had wonderful celebration dinners with the folks from Bright Island and also from the Dominican Republic University and Oregon University. So it was a big celebration, I think, for us in the end, that we were able to celebrate all the successes that we had and all the hard work that we did. So definitely like-minded people, Doug, and definitely friends for forever for sure. So good. So does anybody else have any other comments? Natalia, did you want to talk about your experience and how you came to be with Bright Island? I know that you had gone on your trip and then you decided to join the team.
Yes, so back in February, I actually was a participant of the Revive with Bright Island, and it just moved me. It really changed my life. I kind of felt like a passion for helping and being able to service the community and just the group of amazing humans that all feel the same passion for giving back really called to me. So I spoke to Jonathan. I told him that something really moved inside me and I wanted to be a part of this beautiful mission, and everyone has the same goal. And, you know, things lined up for me and for everyone. And so I'm here, and every time I go on these trips and I try to help out, and anything that we can do to make the experience better for everyone. Anytime we see something for improvement, we're constantly seeing how to grow, how to expand, how to help more people, how to reach more people. I think it's a great experience for all types of dentists, especially in the US and Canada. It's so different. We have a different culture. We have a different way of seeing healthcare. So when we come here and we see the different instruments, the different ways of working, it really opens up your eyes to another type of dentistry. It really makes you grateful for all the experiences that you do have and the access you do have. But being able to adapt, like you said, and being able to really work on your feet and solve problems quickly is part of the experience. So I think that's something that definitely people benefit from by coming to these mission trips. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad I'm part of the Bright Island outreach team. I'm really glad I give back to the communities. The people really need it. And it's also amazing to meet people who with the same mindset, the same passions, the same love for giving back. It's fulfilling and it feeds my soul. So I hope I get to do it for a long time and get to meet more people like you guys and get to see familiar faces soon. And yeah, it was a pleasure meeting all of you. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Natalia. That's a beautiful story, and we're so happy to connect with you. So I just wanted to touch base going forward on what we learned when we were in the Dominican Republic. We also have a program in Canada called Access for All, where our students go out for rural and remote dentistry to Métis communities, and we do mobile healthcare. So I learned a lot, and I think the students learned a lot as well about how can we improve our programs here in Canada, because you guys did such a good job in the Dominican Republic. So I learned about your multidisciplinary approach. So you do have medical doctors there. I think there's room in Access for All to add in physicians or add in nurses or add in other types of disciplines to our projects going out to rural Alberta. I also think it's interesting how you had a lot of hands-on specialists. So I'd like to bring an oral surgeon down there next time, talking about Dr. Tracky. We're hoping to get her down to the Dominican Republic next year, which would be awesome. And also get our oral surgeons out to the rural communities of Alberta as well. We could definitely use their help there for oral surgery and endo. I love the fact that you collaborate with so many universities. It's amazing that you have connections all over Canada now and the US. I was thinking we could probably invite some of our communities and our local universities to Alberta. We could invite UT or UBC to come and see what we do and expand our program across Canada. So we're serving more people and providing more access to care across the country. You know, we couldn't do this without our partners. 123 Dentist has been amazing. Octavio is with us by our side the whole way, and we really appreciate all that you've done for us. You were amazing. We're looking forward to going back next year. We have Patterson Dental here in Canada, who is our silent partner. They never ask for any accolades or any sponsorship, but they are there by our side, setting up our mobile equipment and helping us every step of the way. So we're very grateful for all of the industry support and community support as well. So our trip was quite big this year in Dominican. I was really excited to see how many students and how many dentists we could have in one session. And wow, to go through 256 patients in 3 days is pretty incredible. So your operation is really smooth and very amazing. And so I hope to expand our Access for All program going forward, more dentistry, more dental hygiene, more services out in the community. So, and if you guys ever want to come to Canada, it's a little bit cold, but bring your parka and you're welcome to come to our neck of the woods anytime to help with Access for All. So we had sort of a work hard, play hard model going into the Dominican Republic. We mostly showed the work, but we did have a lot of fun as well. We did some touring. We went to Saona Island. We went to a cigar factory. We went on many, many trips. It was a beautiful time and made many friendships and connections along the way that I think Doug said it best as far as we'll have these friends for life. These are people that have the same values and the same organic growth in mobile dentistry and access to care and really are passionate about these projects. So yeah, and we can't wait to go back. Thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward to our next trip already, planning it out, and hopefully these students might come back as new grads, new dentists, and bring their staff and their dental hygienists with us as well. And we're super excited for that. So this is our Access for All team, and I got Dr. Bullman in on this one as well. So she's becoming our rural and remote access to care specialist. So this is our team. We went out to Grand Prairie. We've done 6 trips all over Alberta. And we typically service about 100 patients over 5 days. So we're a little bit smaller, but looking to expand. And I just have a little video from our team as well. So I'll share it with you now. can go back here. Yeah, so we have a few next steps coming up where like I said, we're always looking forward to our next trip and next adventure and planning that out already. So looking forward to coming back to the beautiful Dominican Republic. and seeing all of you all again. Doug and Natalia, I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully Octavia will come with us, and Dr. Bullman, I've signed her up already, so hopefully she'll be hopefully she'll be joining us. And hopefully we'll increase our student numbers. I think we can probably take up to 10 dental students. We'd like to take some hygiene students. I hear there's a need for hygiene, and we do have a dental assisting program at the U of A. So hopefully we'll get those students out there as well. I think it's good learning for everybody and good learning of how a private practice model works and working together. And we'll use our learnings, like I said, for Access for All. Natalia and I and Dr. Bullman are going to start thinking about some grants that we can do together to help with supplies and help with equipment. And I think there's a lot of good grants out there that we can write together and continue to collaborate. So very excited about that, and also encourage some of our young DDS grads to get out there, and some of our alumni to join, because there's lots of work to do, lots of fun to be had, and a lot more access to care that we can give. So thanks everybody.